Welcome back everybody to the channel. It's Raul Alejandro Mendoza, or the Nerd Chicano. Doesn't matter how you call it, it's all good here. And as always, we are back for another video, and today we are continuing our journey on Between the Frames as we look at the Essential Fellini box set from the Criterion collection, or this massive big thing right here. Yep. We are continuing on from last week's stop as we looked at his first color film, Juliet of the Spirits, and today we are moving on to his 1969 epic, Satyricon. Fellini Satyricon is his next film, and it is interesting. The film is written by Federico Fellini. It's also directed by Federico Fellini, of course. It's written by Bernardino Saponi, Brunello Rondi, Charles Wood for the English version of the film. It's based on Satyricon from Petronius. Petronius is the Roman courtier during the reign of Nero, and he's generally believed to be the author of Satyricon, but who knows? A lot of stuff from back then are pretty much up for debate on who wrote what. Produced by Alberto Grimaldi, it stars Martin Poulter, Hiram Keller, Max Born, Salvo Radon, Magali Noel, Alain Kearney, Lucia Bosse, Tanya Lupert, Gordon Mitchell, and Cappuccine. Its cinematography is from Giuseppe Roturno, and it's edited again by Ruggero Mastroianni. The music is actually done by a lot of people in this film. Nino Rota, Ilya Mimargolu, Todd Dockstader, and Andrew Rudin. And yes, released in 1969, it is a episodic film, sort of in the way that La Dolce Vita was. It was like this film consists of 9 episodes inside of the story of Satyricon, and it is set in Imperial Rome during the reign of Emperor Nero. So let's go ahead and read this nice entry from Criterion now. Federico Fellini's career achieved new levels of eccentricity, brilliance, with this remarkable, controversial, extremely loose adaptation of Petronius' classical Roman satire written during the reign of Nero, an episodic barrage of sexual licentiousness, godless violence, and eye-catching grotesquire. I don't know. Some of these words are out of my range. I'm sorry, y'all. Fellini's Satyricon follows the exploits of two pansexual young men, the handsome scholar Encolpius and his vulgar, insatiably lusty friend Assoltis, as they move through a landscape of free-form pagan excess, creating apparent chaos with exquisite control. Fellini constructs a weird old world that feels like science fiction. All of that, of course, is found on Criterion.com from their entry as you go and look up the Essential Fellini box set. But what are my thoughts on Fellini Satyricon? Well, they kind of stay with my thoughts that I expressed on the podcast. This film is odd, yes, but you cannot deny the sheer will of Federico Fellini to create a grand epic scale film here. I mean, this film is huge. It is super grand in scope. I mean, you cannot deny that. Federico Fellini directs the hell out of this film. He even writes a pretty well-made script, but it's kind of pieced together loosely that it's hard to really hold on to so much of what's going on without truly engrossing yourself into these characters enough to understand the work before this. And I think that's where it gets a little tough here. This film is an exploration into excess in Imperial Rome, but really it's in tune with a lot of what Federico's work is before this. It once again still talks about men and their self-righteous wants to to be transformed. But it's also really hard to grasp a lot of this film because it lacks that, stable direction of a story that a lot of his other films have. And maybe this is just my first watch kind of thoughts on this, but it was really difficult to kind of hold on to this film. It was really difficult to hold on to this film while trying to piece together everything that was happening. It is long and its pace does drag a bit, but I can't deny that this is another interesting work within Federico's career, because even the worst of Federico Fellini's career is still incredible cinema. And I think that this film kind of shows up for that. The performances are well done, of course. I think that some of these performances are better than the others. There's some that are just and there's some that, don't work that much. But where it does count, it does work really well. And Federico Fellini's actors in this film do make the most of the script that they're given. The music is wonderful. I mean, really, when you get Nino Rota, you don't ever get a bad score, and that really can be said for a lot of his films. With Nino, he never ever has bad scores in here, and that is pretty much becoming apparent as you keep on making your journey through this film. There's always wonderful music. The production design is stellar. I mean, if you look at this film, you know that this is 100% work, 100% just incredible work put by the costume department and the set designers, and really the production designer, really bringing to life the Imperial Rome setting here, and everything just looks marvelous in this film. But I can't say that I really think that this movie is all, what it's cut out to be. And I think that when I rewatch this movie and I give it its proper rewatch, I can truly have my full thoughts on it. But really, this movie is fine. It's good. It's not bad at all. But where does it stack up against the other films of Federico Fellini? Well, it's, on the lower tier for me. It's right below Variety Lights, which is at number 10, and right above a short film that we haven't talked about in here on the channel, because I'm only making my way through the films in here, the feature films in here. No documentaries or no short films are going to be covered. I will try to make a separate video on the supplements later on if I get the time. But it's right above Toby Dammit, which honestly I'm kind of arguing my placement of it, because I think Toby Dammit is great, and I really do need to rewatch it to fully see where does it land. But Fellini Satyricon, even though it is not my favorite work from Federico Fellini, it is still marvelous and it is still a good time. And I think that you learn a lot about Federico's love of ancient Rome when you make your journey through, when you set on this journey through this film. It is long, but I will tell you, it is worth the wait of having to see the settings and atmosphere that he creates in this film. I just wish that the script was a little more tuned and there was a clear direction of what exactly Federico Fellini is trying to say. And of course, maybe on my next rewatch, I will try to get through the 2 chapters that are provided in Alessandro Carrera's book, Eternal Rome, Paganism and Christianity in the films of Federico Fellini. I will try to read these 2 chapters when I do my rewatch, so I can get more of a grasp of what exactly Federico Fellini is trying to do within this film. Now, the restoration. I had never seen the film before this, and of course, if you go to Criterion's website, there was a 4K digital restoration already done of this film. So this is pretty much just the last restoration put on this set, because there wasn't anything new done to this film, and this one was done a while ago. I like this. I like the look of this film, so I don't have anything else to go by. I will say though, the digital version compared to the disc is immeasurable. I mean, watching this on my television, on my new on my PlayStation, it really looks great compared to watching it from like the streaming sites on Criterion channel, or if you rent this or something. It looks different on the computer compared to like its proper treatment from a disc standpoint on your TV screen. So it looks great. Colors pop, are vibrant. It's warm. It's exactly what I picture a Federico Fellini Imperial Rome film to look like, because you kind of get all of that, you know, vibrancy, but you also get the colors that are muted when it needs to be, and the scenes at night just, ooh, chef's kiss, look beautiful. But this is one of the best works that they've done on these films, because they gave this the digital restoration before, so we already had a great one to have. So I don't really know where we go from here. Maybe a 4K UHD copy of Federico Fellini's Satyricon could be in the future. But from this set, and this being the first time I watched this film, I thought that the restoration process, video quality wise, looks great. The audio, music is fine. Let's get that out of the way. Music is fine, and it's great, and it sounds great. But the translation, I don't know if it's because some of this is also in Latin, or the Italian is mixed with the Latin, but it's kind of hard to watch this film when there's no translation and subtitles provided for a lot of what is being said in this film. And I have no idea whether that's because they weren't actually able to translate any of that line, or whether it was using a different dialect that is just pretty much lost on how to speak and how to translate that dialect now. But whereas the quality wise, there is nothing wrong to say about it, because the audio sounds great, the dialogue sounds great. There's not much of a big difference between the other films. It sounds wonderful. Where the audio is done well, it's done well. And this is another example of that. But my main gripe with the restoration process is really with the translation of the language into subtitles, because there's a lot missing. And I feel like to fully engross yourself in this film, I think because this film doesn't work that much for me is because of the fact that a lot of what's being said is kind of not there. And I would like to know what else is kind of happening within this film. And I feel like a lot of that is because of the fact that we do not have as much subtitles to this movie. So that was my thoughts on Federico Fellini's Satyricon, or Fellini Satyricon as it's described, from 1969. And we are going to go ahead and continue on with our journey of this box set as we look at his 1975 film, Roma, which is one of his shorter films, coming in at just 2 hours. But this one will be interesting because I actually own the last copy of Roma, and I have it, and I believe this is still the same one. So hopefully they either did a restoration and they fixed a little bit of things, or it just still looks as great as it used to, because I still have that copy. So, which reminds me, I have an extra copy. I do need to give that to Dr. Carrera, or find somebody who wants to buy it off me. But if you want to keep up with the conversation with me, follow me on Twitter at @TheNerdChicano, and on Instagram at @TheNerdChicano. I'm on Twitch as twitch.tv/NerdChicano, and I'm on Letterboxd under The Nerd Chicano as well. Go ahead and like and subscribe, and turn that notification bell on so that way you can be notified whenever these videos go live and are available for you all to watch. You don't want to miss a notification, man. Y'all want to go ahead and watch these videos. I know y'all. Please, let's go ahead and get to 100 subscribers. Don't forget that at 100 subscribers, I will be doing a full commentary of War and Peace, all 7 hours and 3 minutes of that film. Of course, keep up to date with all the stuff I do on the Nerdcore Podcast Network by going over to thenerdcore.com, and we will see you all on the next one. And of course, I don't really have an outro, but my fellow cinephiles and scholars, I hope you all had a wonderful time, and let us relish in the love of cinema. See you on the next video.